I'm Kevin, and yeah, I'm really glad that we have all of you here today. Today we have many participants from many countries. I can see from here we have attendees from Malaysia, from Singapore, Vietnam, Philippines, Australia, and South Africa. So yeah, welcome everybody to our webinar today. Yeah, so today, my name is Kevin, and today I will share with you about the topic customer feedback workflow, how we can design, how we can build it on Rework platform. So yeah, let's start. Okay, so for today's, we will go through three main parts. The first part, I will share about the importance of a well-designed customer feedback workflow, and then we are gonna have a live demo, so you can learn how you can streamline your workflow on the system. And finally, we will learn how to build your own customer feedback workflow. So yeah, let's proceed to the first part. Uh, in Rework, we believe that when a customer they share feedback with you, it means that they still care. So that's why if we want to uh, enhance, if we want to improve our product or service, we should value all the feedback from our customer, and we should make them feel that they are heard, right? So, but what is what is the current way that normally the companies are dealing with customer feedback? So here, as you can see, uh, normally when we talk to our customer, when we talk to different companies, uh, here are a few channels that they usually use for the customer to give feedback. So normally they can call, they can send email, maybe chat, or maybe through a community. So that's how your customer normally give feedback. And normally, it's also the way you usually collect the feedback. Like when they call you, you receive, and maybe someone from your company, they will receive that call, or someone from the company, they will receive the email, right? Or maybe your customer can give feedback through live chat support or through social media, and someone from your team will collect the feedback. So as you can see, um, the feedback can be scattered across many different channels. And many of our customers, they may not have a centralized place to collect and to analyze or to take action. So it is hard for them to manage. So I think in today's meeting, we will propose a way for you to redesign your customer feedback workflow. So simply, you can follow these steps. We can build a place to get all the data into just one place, and then we categorize all the feedback, analyze, take action, and then close the loop. So uh, the first step here, you can design a single hub where the customer can share their input, and then based on some key factors, you can set the priority, you can segment the input, and then you investigate the root cause based on the context, and you take action from there. And finally, we follow up and we close the loop with the customer. Right. So that's the first part. So now let's go to the next part, the second part of today's webinar. We're going to have a live demo, and you are going to learn how to streamline your customer feedback workflow. And to start, I think we are going to have some activity here. So yeah, this activity is called Please Give Me Feedback. So just scan this code on the screen, and then you will see a form on your mobile phone, and then you can try to fill in that feedback form and then try to submit. Okay, I think it will be a very fun activity. Okay, we are gonna have 1 minute for this. Just scan this QR code and then try to fill in the form, the feedback form. Okay. Maybe our team will send this QR code into the chat so you can continue to scan that code. And now I'm gonna switch the screen to the live demo part. Okay, so after scanning the code, I believe that you will see this form on your mobile phone, right? So currently I am open this form and I can show you this. For example, we are a company called Standard Marketing Agency, and this is our form, our feedback form. We can publish this form to our customer, and you are our customer, right? So yeah, you just simply fill in the details like your name, your email, your mobile number, and in here you can see, for example, you can create the form. You provide the details, for example, product or service, and you can see we have configured some kind of condition so that when you choose product or service, you can specify the specific type of product or service. Or for example, if you choose customer support, you can provide more details and then the detailed feedback and what we can improve and then submit. Okay, so if you do notice, you can see that from here, I'm using an account called Olivia. And Olivia here, Olivia received 3 new notifications on the screen, right? So now I will click on this. Yeah, so you can see, right? Some Webform user just created a new job. I can see Tracy, Amy, or Alexis. Okay, so I will try now. For example, I click on Alexis. Cool. So let's, for example, I am the head of support team, right? And we somehow publish the form to our customer, right? And then you can see every time there's a new feedback, um, I will receive a notification like this. And one more thing, once I believe that once you submit the form, you also receive an email, right? An email sent to you and says that our company, we have received your ticket and we will proceed it, right? So maybe it should look something like this. It should look something like this. For example, dear Joey, and then we'll receive. So yeah, that's what you will receive. And for example, now I will choose Athira. Okay, thank you, Athira, for sending the feedback ticket. And for example, in here, I am the account manager. My name is Harry. I receive your information. You have problem with the website, right? But I don't know how I should deal with this. Maybe let's choose another one. Jason. I cannot find info about the price. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jason. You couldn't find the info. So now I'll help you. I'll help you to do this. Okay. So you can see in this process, we have designed different steps. So the first step is collect and categorize feedback, and then analyze, propose solution, approve solution, act on solution, follow up, and then done, right? So now I will go back to Jason. So in here, you see every ticket here. was assigned to Harry because we have automated that part. We want to make sure that every ticket will go to just one PIC. And then, for example, Harry, he will need to handle each ticket. So for example, in here, we already created a to-do for Harry. So Harry will need to call the customer. For example, Harry will need to pick up the phone in here because you didn't provide your phone number, Jason. So maybe Harry will need to reach out to you through email, and then he can mark this one as done. Okay, maybe he can provide some result like I couldn't call, but I reached out through email, something like this. And then once Harry have collected and categorized the feedback, Harry will move to the next stage. So for example, Harry will click on move, determine the feedback date, this feedback source, and then the feedback type. This one is the complaint. And then reassign to someone who should handle this one. For example, maybe I will reassign to JT and then move. Okay, so as you can see here, in the next stage, it is assigned to someone whose name JT, and the next stage is analyze and propose solution, right? So if we look from this board view, you can see this card, this job card, Jason, is in the second stage. And for example, in the future, if you are the manager of this process and you have a question like, what is the progress of the ticket with Jason? How we can know the status or the progress? So you can simply go to here and find Jason. So that's how you can do it. Or sometimes if you don't know Jason, you can simply search maybe using his email, like Kohara, right? And then you can find this ticket. Okay, so let's move this. Let's continue to move this one. So for example, JT is the one who needs to analyze and propose solution. So JT will move this one to approve solution, and he will need to write down the proposed solution. For example, in this case, Jason cannot find the price, right? So maybe because in your website, you like that part. So we need to add pricing to our website. Maybe we'll ask IT team, right? And then maybe we will reassign to someone, for example, the CEO in the company to approve the solution. Sometimes the solution may require budget. For example, you need to maybe return the product, or maybe the product is defective and we need to, and the customer want to return that. So maybe we want to exchange that with another product. So we maybe need to send them another product, right? So it may involve some kind of budget. And in this case, we may not need. So I will leave this one as blank. And then target completion date, maybe the end of this week, should be fast, right? And then I will move. So in the next stage, for example, Joey is the account manager, and Joey will receive the notification, all the details here. And then, yeah, Joey can confirm with the team. For example, Joey can add someone else in here. For example, Alex. Alex is the marketing manager, and Joey can ask Alex, please support. Okay, and then Joey can approve by moving this one to the next stage, right? So move next. So it goes to as you can see, if you remember, JT was the one who analyzed and proposed the solution. And we have configured that in this stage, the system will automatically reassign to the one in the second stage here. So that's why in here, JT is the assignee. And then JT will continue to act on this. JT can still comment and discuss with the team. And in here, one more thing. If you look at this board view, you can see the tags, right? So JT can also add the tags to this job. For example, this one should be high because every customer should know the price, right? So it's the priority is high. And when we look at this dashboard, you can know the priority level, like urgent or high or low. So yeah, and then once the solution is done, JT has done all his tasks. He has collaborated and communicated with all the necessary members. Then he can move to the next stage to follow up. And then in here, in this stage, the follow-up duration will be maybe 7 days. So it means that we will have 1 week to wait for maybe, for example, if Jason is the one who sent this feedback. So maybe we can wait, we can reach out, but we can connect back to Jason, and then we tell him, we update him that our website is updated. And then we keep the card in this stage follow-up. And to make sure that maybe after 1 week, no more problem will arise. And when everything is done, JT here can move this one to done and then summarize. Maybe he can note something like add the pricing page. And maybe he can add the link in here. For example, this link. And then mark it as done. So that's how a ticket is delivered. Okay, so now I will go back to the slide. So basically, what I just demonstrated is that we have built a web form, a public web form, and a workflow, so that we can centralize all the data into just one place, and from a web form to workflow, and you can design all the stages, all the person in charge, all the custom field, so that we can get all the data and we standardize the workflow. And based on, as you can see in the demo, based on using the custom fields and the tags, we can easily segment the feedback. And for the custom field, you can use that for maybe the product service use, the feedback type, maybe customer type or revenue or spending, etc. Or for tags, it can be for priority level or customer segment. So it depends on your internal operation. You can decide that. And yeah, as you also saw in the demo, you can easily assign the team members to take action with clear deadlines. And you can see the status of every ticket in the board view or in each card. And finally, you can automate your process based on some predefined setup from assignees, followers. So you can see here, for example, in the form, you can set up the form, and then if you remember in the first stage, every card goes to Harry, right? Because I have configured in here the pre-field, the job assignee is Harry. And you can set up all the stage workers and the stage owner of every stage, as well as the duration and the to-dos. For example, in the first stage, we have one to-do call the customer. and the duration in every stage will be different. For example, in the last stage, 168 hours means 1 week, right? So yeah, you can automate the process. And finally, if you still remember, we have an automatic email when you submitted the ticket, right? So you can also configure that right in Rework platform. So here's how you set it up. You set up the trigger as the job created, and then you set up an action called send email. And this is the email content we have configured. All right. So if you want to build your own workflow and launch it to your customer, so here's how you will do it. So basically, there will be 5 steps. The first step, you will design all the stages, all the person in charge, assignment method, stage durations, and to-dos. So here's the setup screen. You can put in as you want. You can easily customize your own workflow. And after that, after you have designed all the stages, you will need to design all the custom fields. So the custom fields are the fields where the information are stored. For example, in the first form, you have to provide as the customer, as the form submitter, you have to provide your name, your email, and so on. So firstly, we need to set up all the fields in here. And across among different stages, we also need to provide different information, right? So we also need to set up the custom field and link these fields to a specific stage. So that's the second step. And the third step, design the web forms. So in this stage, you will need in the previous stage, if you have to create the custom fields, then in the next stage, in this stage, designing the web form, you just need to drag and drop all the fields from this left menu to this main screen. For example, the field your name and your email, you just drag and drop to this main screen. And you add some more details. For example, this description, this form description, as also you can design the color or the background picture, the success page. If you remember, after submitting the form, you will receive some kind of message saying thank you for sending your feedback, and we will get back to you within 48 hours. So it is configured in the setup page. And then after the third step, we will come to the fourth step, design the automations. So we set up all these automations. Like, for example, the email, you just configure just like this. And then in the final step, this is where you can review all the workflow and stage more options. So for the workflow, you will need to determine who can access this workflow and who should be able to see everything in here, who should not, and maybe some guideline so that your team can understand. The same goes for the stage more options. You can set up the stage guideline, some advanced feature like the to-dos or the deadline or something like the backward options. You can try that out. So and yeah, finally, we just launch. So after setting up, you will go back to the form, share the form link with your customer, and then in here you can see the link. So you can copy this link and share it to your customer. Maybe, for example, if you have many key accounts and you have a group chat with them, you can pin this link in the group chat, right? Or for example, you can add this link to your website. Or for example, in some automatic message by your bot chat, and whenever your customer they want to give feedback, the bot chat will show this link. And in here, we also provide some kind of code, like the iframe and the embed here. So if you have an in-house team to be in charge of your website, for example, you can share with them this code, and then they just need to paste this code into the code of the website, and then the form will be there. Okay, and I think before we go to the next part, let's go back to the system. So I understand that there will be many steps, and in today's webinar, we cannot cover all the details. So if you want to set up a workflow just like mine, firstly, after this webinar, we will send you all the recording of today's webinar, and we also send you the slide deck. And one more interesting feature that I want to show you, when you create a new workflow. So in here, in the part explore templates. So you can also find, I think just enter feedback, and then you may find some template in here. So in here, we also have the template for simple customer feedback process. So you just choose this one, and then you click on use template. And then from there, you just need to make some minor adjustment, and then your workflow is ready to use. I think this version is not close enough with the version that I present today, but we will update in the library here so that you can access and you can use easily. Okay, and the final part. So after launching, I hope that after designing and building, and then you launch this workflow, this form to your customer, I hope that you can receive many valuable feedback from your customer. And I think if you remember, go back to the first slide, right? This is what we want, right? When the customer share feedback, it means they still care. So it is our responsibility to make them feel heard, right? So that's why in today's webinar, we want to show you how you can create a customer feedback workflow, how you can design it step by step so you can learn how to do it. And finally, we believe that when every feedback is handled well, it means that our customers are still careful. And I believe that when all our feedback is handled well, your product and your service will continue to improve. So yeah, that's all from my end, from my presentation. And the next part, I think if you have any question, we can spend maybe 10 to 15 minutes for the Q&A session. Thank you.